Hillary Clinton goes after Bernie Sanders, saying his campaign is just baloney. But it's not the comment about his campaign being baloney that makes me laugh, and boy, did I laugh. It's that in the interview, she says something truly amazing. The interviewer for Good Morning America, Lindsay Davis, says, Bernie Sanders in 2016 wanted a contested convention. Now he's changing his mind. How do you feel about that? I'll tell you what. I'm just going to play for you the audio from the Good Morning America clip, and then I'm going to explain to you why this is one of the, based on the title of the video, you may have already figured out what's going on, but just watch.
Just curious to get your response to hearing that Bernie Sanders said that if he makes it to the convention with the most pledged delegates, that he should be the nominee. That's quite a bit of a change in his stance from 2016. Your reaction?
Well, my reaction is let's follow the rules. We've got rules. We had rules last time and we have rules this time. And I think it's always a good idea to follow the rules. Everybody knew what they were when you got into it.
In the campaign.
Whoa. Did she just say everybody knew what they were when we got into it, when they got into it? That sounds a lot like what conservatives say when the Hillary Clinton people complain that she won the popular vote but still lost. And they say it's the Electoral College. We should change the rules. But hold on, Hillary. There are rules. Everybody knows the rules. Everybody knew the rules and they got into it, right? Didn't you just say that? Listen. 2016, Hillary Clinton. It's time to abolish the Electoral College. Oh, harumph, I say. Everybody knew the rules. You knew the game you were playing. You played by those rules and you lost. It's your fault. Your strategy was bad. You know what we see from this, though? I find it really, really funny. We see that Bernie Sanders is a hypocrite. Hillary Clinton is a hypocrite. Is anyone surprised to hear that these people are hypocrites? Well, let's read a little bit of this article now that I've given you the straight lead. And we'll talk about Bernie Sanders being baloney. Doubling down on comments made it. This is from Fox News. Doubling down on comments made in a Hulu documentary she had filmed before the 2020 primary season. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said Tuesday that Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' campaign is just baloney. In an interview on ABC's Good Morning America with host Lindsay Davis, the former 2016 presidential candidate said that her opinion of Sanders and his campaign has not changed. That was my authentic opinion then. It's my authentic opinion now, she said. Well, hold on. That wasn't your authentic opinion when Bernie Sanders endorsed you. It was, thank you, Bernie, for lending me your support. But of course, now that it's no longer politically expedient, Hillary Clinton is once again back on that screw Bernie Sanders train. She was always Bernie bad. Then Bernie endorsed her, and it was the greatest thing ever to get all those progressive votes, which she kind of only got some of. And then once she's out, she's like, I don't care. Bernie's nuts. Bernie's baloney. Well, of course they have no principle. Neither she nor Bernie do, as far as I'm concerned. In the upcoming 4-part docuseries, Hillary, set to be released this Friday, the former senator and first lady said nobody liked Sanders or wanted to work with him, and that he got nothing done. The last one's kind of true, though. He was a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it, she said. Clinton also responded to Sanders' altered position on the number of delegates needed to clinch the Democratic nomination. Sanders had said that if he makes it to the 2020 Democratic convention with the most pledged delegates, he should be the nominee, a marked change from his stance 4 years ago. My reaction is, let's follow the rules. We've got rules. We had rules last time. We have rules this time. I think it's always a good idea to follow the rules. Everybody knew what they were when you got into it. In addition, Clinton told Davis that she was concerned that Sanders' potential nomination could ruin the Liberal Party's chances of keeping its majority in the House of Representatives or flipping the Republican-held Senate, both of which will never happen. Well, it won't happen in November, at least in my opinion, based on my assumptions, because you don't have anybody. What do you got? What are you running on? What proposals? What policies? The people who are voting in the Democratic primary today on Super Tuesday are doing it just because they don't like the orange man. Sorry, that's not confidence building. I don't think you stand for anything. When you come out and drag Bernie Sanders, okay, Hillary Clinton comes out, drags Bernie Sanders because he doesn't want to follow the rules now. And how many times has she and her ilk talked about ending the Electoral College? Spare me your hypocrisy. I don't care, and I don't trust you. Here's what, in addition, she says, change is hard. It's not glamorous. It doesn't fit into a soundbite. And yet the people who were elected in 2018 are out there doing the people's work. No, they aren't. They did a failed impeachment. They were like, we're going to campaign on kitchen table issues. And then as soon as they got in, they were like, now we're going to impeach Trump and we're going to fail doing it. No one thought they were going to win impeachment. Why were these people elected? I'm sorry, blue waivers. What did you have? What were you thinking? What was going on in there, huh? She says, I think we ought to be more understanding and realistic on what it takes to get change in this big, complicated, pluralistic democracy of ours, says the lady who drags Bernie Sanders. The Democratic Socialist is widely expected to have a delegate lead after the Super Tuesday races. He's a fan favorite in California, which will hand out over 400 delegates. That said, it's uncertain whether Sanders will secure the 1,991 delegates he needs to take him all the way before a convention. Former Vice President Joe Biden handily won the South Carolina primary on Saturday and is also hoping for a strong result on Tuesday as a number of other notably more moderate Democrats rally to support him, an effort Sanders has rejected as a massive effort from the party's establishment trying to stop his momentum. Clinton said, there's a long way to go in the race and she's not offering an endorsement at this time. Today is obviously a big day, she said. I'm just watching and hoping that we nominate whoever is the strongest candidate to take out the current incumbent. Ooh, watch your language, Hillary. Some people got banned on Twitter for saying stuff like that. That's the only thing that really matters at the end of the day. No, what I think really matters to Hillary Clinton and her crony ilk is propping up their crony ilk so they can get elected positions, sit in the ivory tower and dangle the keys and do nothing. That's what they've always done, and it's what they're going to do. One thing I find truly funny about politics, actually a really good statement. Politics is downstream from culture. That's why literally every single politician flip-flops. Actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. Ron Paul, I'm pretty sure, didn't. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Ron Paul didn't flip-flop. He seems like a cool guy. Don't agree with him on everything. But all they really want is to say what needs to be said to get elected. And it's the craziest thing to me. It really is. And it's why I have no interest in ever being involved in this kind of, shenanigans. I couldn't imagine believing in free speech like so many of these Democrats did when Jon Stewart was on The Daily Show and he called Baltimore an S-hole. He did, by the way, and praised Project Veritas. All of these people were like, yeah, that's right. Everybody's claiming to like this guy, so I'll claim to like this guy too. And now that we're in the era of woke psychosis, they're like, well, I don't know about that. Those jokes were offensive. I should be against these things. Okay, you know what, man? Bernie Sanders had no problem being consistent on so much. Why did he flip-flop? Is it because he got a taste of that sweet $1 million Skrilla, sold a book to a bunch of woke morons, made $1 million and said, hey, I like being rich. Being rich is great. What do I got to say to stay being rich? What's the saying? Power corrupts, and absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. So as soon as Bernie Sanders got his sweet moolah, what did he do? He dropped the millionaire from his millionaires and billionaires. Hillary Clinton complains that she should have won 2016, but the Electoral College needs to be abolished. Now that Bernie Sanders is complaining and threatening the awful neoliberal ladies' establishment party, she's saying, well, we all knew the rules. Here's what they have from CNN. This is back in 2017, mind you. They say, Hillary Clinton told CNN on Wednesday that it's time to abolish the Electoral College. Part of a sweeping interview where the former Democratic nominee sought to explain why she lost in the 2016 election. What's that word that's like, it's for when you say something, but then you don't actually adhere to your own principles? A hypocrisy seems to define the Democratic Party these days, doesn't it? They play up how they're the ones protecting democracy. Donald Trump is destroying democracy and destroying government. Yet they literally say whatever they need to say to win. Remember when Hillary Clinton went to that rally, I don't know where, down south, and she put on a Southern drawl? And everyone's like, dude, we know what you talk like. You're on TV all the time. Do you think we're in the 50s where like people aren't going to watch TV or it's only local television? That to me is what's truly crazy. That she never learned that today is the internet. And that means the things you've said in 2017, we can hear today. Is she now against abolishing the Electoral College? I'll tell you what, from this point on, whenever anyone comes to you and says the Electoral College is in the way, and they try and use Hillary Clinton as defense, just show them that interview from Hillary Clinton where she says, where is it at? I'll quote her. We've got rules. We had rules last time and we have rules this time. I think it's always a good idea to follow the rules. Everybody knew what they were when you got into it. Just quote that and hand it to them. Put it on a card, actually. But here you go. What was that you were saying about the Electoral College? The Electoral College is actually really important. So if somebody wants to argue and be like, I don't know, Hillary Clinton supports it now. I technically, although I guess it's kind of funny how she could simultaneously, they're going to try and argue, I'll tell you this, that she simultaneously holds both opinions. But you know what? Let me stop you right there. Let me stop right now. I don't think anybody cares about this lady anymore anyway. I don't think, most of the Democrats, even the ones who would support Biden, I think it was like 75% of Democrats did not want Hillary to run. And apparently she was probably floating it to see, putting feelers out there to see if she could. I mean, she's old too, but nobody wanted her to run. Nobody cares what she has to say at this point. So maybe that argument wouldn't actually work. Suffice it to say, though, whenever anyone says ban the Electoral College, I think it's fair to point out they're only saying it because this time they lost. Nobody complained when Obama won. That's the point. Hypocrites. I'll leave it there. Stick around. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.